second. Here we go. Scott Wilson.
Yo, yo,
from
hey.
Saving Abel. How are you doing, my old friend?
I am fantastic.
And, man, the last time I had you on here, it was a trip, man.
We have fun.
We've kind of upped some things here, man, trying to do the podcast a little better and all that stuff. We just slowly but surely get going, you know. Hey, how is the Saving Abel camp? How's everybody?
Fantastic. We doing rehearsals this week. That's why I'm in Nashville, Smashville.
And y'all are going back out on tour, huh?
Yep. Going to Okinawa next month for one show, USO show.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okinawa.
Yeah. Okinawa. That'll be fun. And
wow.
Then we have a record in the can, done, ready to go. First single comes out next month.
Really?
Yeah.
How you feel about the new record?
I really like it.
You do? You really?
Yep. I got to write a lot on it too. So, you know, it becomes your infant.
And you're back with your old producer, Skid Mills.
Skid Mills, rocking it out.
How's he doing,
dude?
Man?
He's awesome.
He's a freaking trip, man. I like that guy.
He's a nut.
He doesn't say much about things, but you know what I mean. That would drive me crazy. But you know what though? He has a way I've heard in the studio that's awesome though. He's very proficient and very I don't know, intellectual about the audio and where everything's going, and he knows. You know, he's a really killer engineer.
He is, and he comes from our era when you had to do analog, digital. You know, play with coffee cans, whatever you had. You know.
Oh, I know. I remember those days. I remember cutting tape and freaking, staying up for days, freaking cutting tape and knowing that that's the only way I can edit, and that sucked.
Oh, it was terrible.
It sucked bad. But anyway, so how are you doing? How's the studio out in Colorado doing?
Awesome. I see you got your Sunshine Studio slide. Yeah.
Look at that, guys.
So, yeah.
I got the Sunshine shirt on. Look at that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Miss Sunshine.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, Christina was like, yeah, he needs one of those. So,
yeah, man.
Everything's great. Venue is a zillion shows coming up. Like every single person on the planet's playing there, and then the studio's slammed too. So,
really,
yeah, I've been off more this year. You know, doing the record, we've been off a little bit more from touring.
Right.
So I've been able to do some work there, and a lot
You've
of
been
good
producing
bands.
some bands, I bet.
Yeah. I've got one I'm really excited about right now, but I won't say the name of them because then the others will get mad.
Well, I'll tell you, I've done two in a row that I really love. Fever Slip, that was a band I played you.
Oh
earlier.
man,
there's another one that I produced. Nine Left Dead. They're from Oklahoma.
Okay.
And Brown Josie Scott's, domain.
Yeah.
And those guys are killer, man. They really are. They're really, really good. They're really great songwriters. That one guy, the singer's Travis is just an amazing songwriter.
I hope I get to hear it.
Man, I'm hoping to play it for you, hopefully, before you leave. Because you're going to be here for a week, aren't you?
Yeah. I leave 14th.
Okay. And I've been on Jason, though, about coming on here and talking about the Mandela effect.
Okay.
Because
Oh, yeah.
He knows about all that kind of crazy stuff.
He researches more than anybody I've ever seen in my life about
crazy stuff like I do.
Yeah. And
that's why I have the podcast.
It's awesome because randomly a subject will come up and he knows everything about that subject. He's like, oh, yeah, Bill, whatever his name is. He names all these names and dates and times. It's awesome.
Well, first of all, I want to tell everybody out there that I wasn't the one that hit him.
No, he wasn't.
No, he ran into a wall.
I literally hit a wall with my face, and it's not like a bruise. It's just a little skin. I don't know. But yeah, I had my luggage and my backpack, and I'm trying to put my backpack on.
Right.
And I hit a crack in the sidewalk, and I was, of course, like this far from the wall, so it just leaned me in the wall.
Well,
yeah,
sorry
today.
About that, man. Today it happened today.
Yeah, this morning.
Well, we won't leave a big old mark on you too bad.
I hope not.
No, but it makes you look tougher on stage, though.
Well, that's right.
Yeah.
And I've, had a lot of pavement on the face, from riding skateboards when I was a kid.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
I never was, I
Really?
was one of those guys who lived on a gravel road. So
Okay.
skateboards never was my thing,
Yeah. My parents owned a grocery store. So as a kid, I would work in the grocery store some, and then
Right.
I'm in town, so I could skate, when I wasn't working. So that was
Right.
cool.
So your home base is home is Louisville, Kentucky, right? Or outside Louisville?
Berea, Kentucky.
Berea, Kentucky.
Yep.
What's the population there?
It was 8,000 when I lived there.
Well, that's pretty. I mean, that's not too small.
It's not too small.
That's not too small.
Well, technically, I lived in Paint Lick, Kentucky, which is population 80.
Did you say Paint Lick?
Paint Lick.
Wow.
Can't make that up.
How many? How big was that place?
80 people. But
Wow.
all it was a post office and a zip code.
Really?
They call it a city. There's one building.
Well, technically, I'm from JY, Missouri,
Okay.
which there was a post office there.
Oh.
And then they closed it down.
Yeah.
There's not enough money. There's not people here to have a post office. One of my old buddies live in the old post office, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Well, I know he does. But anyway.
So were there paranormal activities you think in the post office?
Oh, no telling, man. I mean, I'm telling. Well, I'm not going to say anything.
A lot of
I'm just
energies
saying,
went through there.
There's a lot of energies and a lot of freaking not good doings.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. All right.
Not good doings. In case he sees a podcast and be like,
Yeah.
man, you son of a-" But
He turned the accent on. Man, you.
you son of a bitch. No, but man, I want now. Look, there's something that's been brought to my attention. You
Okay.
are an appointed Kentucky colonel,
Yeah.
and how in the hell does that happen?
Someone nominates you. So what it is, for people that don't know what it is, because nobody knows what it is. not anybody,
An
but
appointed.
Kentucky colonel. So I didn't know either. So, and I grew up in Kentucky. No, so what it is the governor of Kentucky signs a certificate because someone nominated you for representing the state in an honorary way.
Right.
Now, being a colonel, I don't know if it would get me out of a speeding ticket. Maybe. No. But let's try that later. We can go to Kentucky across the border there. But
Here tonight after the Lowdown Drifters show.
yeah, there we go. But the colonels do a lot of good fundraising for a bunch of charities and have events. And then randomly this past week, I was contacted because I live in Colorado now. They want to start a Colorado Colonels. The Kentucky Colonels do, because there's 100 Kentucky Colonels in Colorado.
What?
Like, they sent me this email. They said there's 100 Kentucky Colonels in Colorado, so we want to start a chapter because it's the most other than Kentucky. So I'm like, what?
You started a Kentucky Colonel chapter in Colorado. Do you realize that's a tongue twister? That's like a Kentucky Colonel chapter in Kentucky Colonel chapter in Colorado.
Yeah,
Kentucky
you did
Colonel, Kentucky Colonel chapter in Colorado.
That's it.
Say that 10 times, and all of a sudden, man, you look like the Kentucky Fried Chicken guy or something.
Exactly. Oh, here's a good one on the Kentucky Fried Chicken, and since we're on the Colonel subject.
Right. Is that reason why they call it Colonel? They call you
No.
Colonel?
No.
Okay, it doesn't have anything to do with him.
It was before Colonel Sanders. So,
Okay.
but he was a colonel. Like the same kind of colonel I am.
Really?
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So Colonel Sanders.
I'm going to start calling you Colonel.
Oh, my
There's
gosh.
no way I can't.
That'll be funny. This Colonel Sanders owned KFC. I know everybody knows that. It was called Kentucky Fried Chicken. They abbreviated that. I guess, I didn't know all of us in Kentucky could spell, but evidently they wanted us to be able to spell KFC. So, no, they were in discussions with Limp Bizkit. What's that guy's name?
Oh, yeah.
We all know his name. But anyway,
Right.
Fred Durst. We both at the same time hit it. They were in talks with Fred Durst before he made this comeback thing that he just did,
Right.
Started touring again, to be Colonel Sanders in the commercials.
No
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, that's a rumor I was told, and I was
No
like, I can
way.
totally see it. Yeah.
I could see that.
And then-
see that.
So on the road, randomly, because
Right.
Jared's a nut, our singer, and I'm a goofball too, we started changing Limp Bizkit songs to be about Kentucky Fried Chicken,
Uh-huh.
Why is everybody pouring gravy on me? Just We're not right, you know. So that's our Colonel chapter of the podcast.
Good God, good God.
That's awesome.
Man, I've got a video up there, man. We were talking before the podcast about this David Favor UFO thing.
Oh, yeah.
And I know the last time you were here, you talked about, I'd like for you to tell your story again about the UFO you saw.
Okay.
Because I want just, what did you see?
So it snowed, sleigh riding. I was 11, 12, something like that. And my brother, me, and my older cousin was 8 years older than us. Just cruising down this hill, and we got to the top of it. We're walking back up the hill.
Right.
And we looked up, and there's one light in the sky. And then there's 3 lights in the sky, you know, just sitting there. And we all looked at each other and said, what is that?
Is this during the day?
No, nighttime.
Nighttime.
Yeah.
So you're sledding at night?
Yeah.
Wow.
On the road, by the way, yeah.
On the road.
It wasn't smart, but, you know. So we're sitting here, we see these lights, and you know, of course, you didn't think that's a UFO. You didn't think anything. You're like, what is that? I don't know. Sat there for a minute, probably a full minute. And then all of a sudden it goes, bloop, and just shot to my right. And as it shot away, for like half a second, that light was like a streak. And it went right away. And we were looking everywhere, all around, trying to see it again. Never saw it. So we went home immediately and told Mom and Dad about it. And they're like, yeah, whatever. Do you want some popcorn? You know, I mean, it was just...
I know. That's the way everybody's reacted when I saw one.
Yeah.
And was it a triangle shape?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was.
Triangle-ish. Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of oval triangle.
Of course,
a dull triangle.
I always have some questions, you know. That's
my
job. But I want to ask you, and you know, and I'm very serious about this because everybody kind of looks at me funny when I ask this question.
Mm-hmm.
This is my only thing. Okay, do you think that the aliens got the LEDs at Home Depot or Lowe's, or do you think they went to Walmart to get them? I mean,
if they got them at Walmart, that was the last time it lit up.
But okay, here's my question about the lights on these UFOs.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, like, why would they have lights on there? I mean, we have sophisticated radar right now that we don't need lights on any of our jets. You know, we don't need to know if we're like our technology is so advanced now.
Yeah.
Okay, here on Earth, humans. The humans have freaking radar where they can fly right by each other and never run into each other. They're flying dark, you know, really much.
Yep.
You know, pretty much. Why would a UFO? I wonder why they would have lights. I mean, I'm just wondering. Now, look, I'm thinking maybe they're here to pick up some chicks or something. I'm just saying. I'm just saying they're trying to show it off.
It's got to be a bling thing. It just has to be. Hey, and you remember in the 90s when the neons started coming out on the cars, you know, everybody's like, you're the coolest dude ever.
I totally believe in aliens. I'm sorry, but you know what I'm saying.
No, I do. And that's a great question. I never thought about that before.
Or maybe it's the way they're propelled. You know, that's the only thing I can come up with. Maybe it's part of their propulsion is the lights, you know.
It could be.
Propelled by light. Maybe it's some science we don't know yet. But I'm just saying... That's where I get tripped up because I do believe that we definitely have. I think aliens are living among us, and I really do.
Mm-hmm.
I know because I am one.
I know that.
Well, half alien, whatever. I talked to my mom about that this morning, you know, and she's like, "Son, you need to stop telling people that." And I'm like, "You know, Mom, I think that might not be good."
Did she offer you popcorn?
No. She's in Missouri, so.
No.
But anyway, you know, here's my other thing. Okay. Because this is a good question. Do you think on some other planet that there's like UFO dealerships? Like, I want one of them Tic Tacs. You know? I mean, who makes these motherfuckers?
Hey, y'all,
you know?
Have you seen that classic 74 triangle they got down there? You know.
Dude, that shit. Hey, what about that 1970s freaking just classic? Man, I got a classic UFO disc.
Frisbee.
This is my. Yeah, I bought the Frisbee, man. Yeah, that's the name of it.
It's a Frisbee Deluxe.
But I'm saying though, you have to ask yourself, like, do they have like a military that? But see, now that is the best, just the best, I guess, thing I could come up with is they have a mothership or they have a place that they go, and they have like an organization that makes these things,
Okay.
and their military is coming here to check us out because it has to be. I don't care. Everybody can go, well, man, you got to look at it that way. Well, no. You do have to look at it that way. There has to be, just like there's time, like now, 15 minutes from now,
Yeah.
20 minutes from now, there has to be some kind of form of them. You know, it's got to be some kind. God dang it! I'm sorry about that.
I got it. I'm leaving now. That went off, and I'm distracted. And
Sorry, that was Instagram telling me I'm an asshole.
oh, okay.
No, but do you see what I'm saying? So it has to be a military thing. Well, if it's a military thing, that means they are probably not nice
Well,
or observing to take us over. What do you think about all that? What do you think?
I like that concept because it makes sense. You know,
Right.
and everything you watch, they say, "Oh, observing. We're being observed. They're observing." But all the people that believe it or not, or whoever believes and doesn't, all of the people that were accosted by aliens, you know, I think about those people and go, well, they're not observing if they took a human, probed them, or whatever.
Whatever, yeah.
Yeah. And they were gone for 3 days, and then all of a sudden they reappear in the same spot they were, you know, that stuff. So I don't think that it's a family that just goes, hey, we're going to Disneyland,
Right.
Earth, you know. I don't think they just pack their bags and go, hey, let's go to Florida.
It's a actual military.
Gotta be.
It's got to be, and that to me is what's terrifying. To me, that's terrifying, and it's like the intellectual in me goes, okay, that's the only thing that makes sense to me. I mean, I don't think they're on some other planet. Go, hey man, let's go to let's go to Earth on Saturday night and let's get some tater. You know,
Yeah.
it's like that's not what's happening. So it's like they're observing us. Now here's the other question. The other question is like, the references in the Bible. I mean, I know we've talked about this before, but we'll talk about it again. I mean, that's what confuses me. Like, straight up, the book of Enoch is straight up just extraterrestrial after extraterrestrial. The book of Ezekiel, I mean, look, man, we don't need to build God a platform for him to come and land his UFO in and visit us. I mean, so, and we're half of the book of Ezekiel's measurements. And I have to ask, man, my friends, you know, and stuff. Is this what we're seeing? Are these the angels, or is angel spirit, and are they, you know, material? I mean, do they materialize? I mean, okay, so I guess in the Bible they do materialize in the book, you know, whether they believe in the Torah, the Bible, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the Old Testament. I'm talking about the books that were left out, the
Black
Gnostics.
Scrolls, all those, yeah.
What's your thing? Do you think those are what they called angels?
It's very possible.
Do you think God's an alien?
I don't.
Really? Interesting.
I don't know why I don't. But maybe that's just bred in my head and programmed that way. You know,
Right.
growing up in a Southern Baptist home, and you know,
Yeah, me too. Me too.
so it could be that my brain just has that trigger and goes, no, that's not right. That's not the answer. But it is possible. My mom's side of the family, Cherokee, Native American. So I got to learn two religions growing up, and they were Christian too,
Right.
but they wanted me to know the heritage and whatever. So all very interesting petroglyphs of aliens from way
How
back.
do you
Like
explain that?
same exact things that we watch on YouTube, those shapes.
Right.
We see a real video from yesterday or today, thousands of years ago, were scribed on a rock. Hey, look, I saw this in this desert. Some Native American or somebody, whoever the tribe was, that left it there. So how do we explain that? And same drawings in Hawaii as in Japan. Well, they couldn't swim that far or boat
that's
that
what's
far.
really odd. And you know, I don't want to get off subject, but I'm saying, did you see? Now I know everybody out there watches Ancient Aliens. If you don't, you should. Some of it's just totally like, well, it's aliens. Okay, you know, we have bulletproof suits.
Yeah.
That's aliens. It's like we have microwaves. That's aliens. Okay, that's okay. But that might not be true.
Yeah.
I'm not saying everything's aliens, but what's weird is them finding those elongated skulls in Peru. I think it was Peru.
I think it was Peru.
Okay, and then they tested it. They tested the DNA.
Yeah.
Well, the DNA said it wasn't male or female. That's a big thing.
Oh wow.
And then it said it was freaking from Europe. And these are like
And they're in.
thousands of years old.
Wow.
These skulls. So I'm wondering, like, okay, so it gave no was it Y no Y chromosome is what it is.
Okay.
That's what I guess in the DNA that's or chromosome. That's what tells us if you're male or female. And you should see this freaking thing, man. I mean, I'm telling you,
That's
Scott
nuts.
Wilson is son of a bitch. It's weird looking. And even the scientist that believes nothing in nothing, this guy.
Yeah.
And you like got the Mohawk on Ancient Aliens,
Yep.
the scientist that goes, there's no way, this is not
Yeah.
real. There's nobody in our freaking community that ever freaking goes into this and all that stuff.
Yep.
And it's like, and then it's like this thing comes up being a European DNA strand in that part of the world thousands
Before
of years.
people.
Thousands of years before anybody ever supposedly stepped foot on here. Of course,
Yeah.
we all migrated, down. But that's
Well, that was when the glacier was frozen. No, I'm kidding. I'm just adding to the story.
no, but that's what they say.
Yeah.
That's connected Russia and Alaska, and they walked across there and came down. Bullshit.
Yeah. Oh, here's
Come on, man.
on subject, off subject. Someone mentioned to me yesterday that if they could de-ice or melt Antarctica, is that
Right.
if they could do that, what stuff is in there from ancient history
Oh
that
my
we
God.
just don't know?
I know.
So
Antarctica's always fascinated me. It's fascinating to think about.
and it has to be, or was it always there? We don't know. But layers and layers, how it's built up,
Right.
there's got to be like a lot of answers to all this stuff.
Right. Could you pull up pyramid picture of the pyramid in Antarctica, Jackson? Oh, sidetrack Jackson.
Oh, sidetrack.
Now he's called Pop Tart.
Oh, he's Pop Tart now too.
I tell you, I better not tell it on
Okay.
I better not tell it on the podcast.
You can tell me after, but I've got some direction in my
I
head.
think he's got a little sweetheart now.
Oh, okay. I get it. I get it. Okay, so this is
This is Antarctica.
oh, okay. Oh, a pyramid in okay.
Is that not
I
fascinating?
didn't see this. Yeah, I never saw this.
There's some of them that look like mountains, but some of them definitely look like.
That looks like a pyramid. That looks like a structure that was built. It doesn't to me, you know. Hmm.
But it's so like cut, like I mean,
It's the shape of what we can see in
that's-
Egypt and
that's a real
Cairo.
That's a real picture right there.
Wow.
That's amazing. But
Did-
anyway,
that's yeah, that's kind of crazy. What's the place in the United States that has the pyramid? Like it was a mountain and it's in the Midwest.
somebody told me. But now there are some structures over there across from St. Louis, over there in Illinois,
Yeah.
that are like they don't know who built those things.
But-
That's what's stupid about it.
Yeah.
Like just like the pyramids of Egypt. I mean, the Egyptians didn't build that.
No.
That they found them and started living around them.
Right.
But then they worshiped them. That's how they came up with their gods and all that stuff. But I mean, that's me. I'm not saying that's science. I'm just saying that's the only thing that makes sense because the Great Pyramid and all them, that has to be part of Atlantis. I mean, it has to be.
Something.
Because that's where the story of Atlantis came from,
Yeah.
was the Egyptians.
Yeah.
And I think all that, man, is so fascinating to think about. But a lot of people, I got a friend on here, talking about Scholar Path. He's the one who came up with Scholar Path. And we're talking about the educational system and this on this last podcast. And I'm gonna tell you, he just don't care about anything like that. Well, then some people don't think about it. But me, me being a producer, I've had 32 years to sit in the studio and going, well, maybe.
Yeah.
Do you think Antarctica will uncover like the truth about a lot of our history?
I think it. I mean, and maybe there's nothing under the ice, but
It's
got to be something because I mean, well, even the dinosaurs that they have found frozen,
right.
they found prehistoric people that were before prehistoric, like before whatever the time period they called it.
Right.
They found them frozen in the ice. Not even that deep, just like ice cracks, glacier, and then they're like, "What is this thing?" So they find it. But think about this: all of these people now that sit at home, and this is their culture, and then they discuss it on a forum or something, or podcast, but they are Google Earth searchers. It's a thing.
Right. Really?
Yes.
That's odd.
Their hobby is picking an area, and then they just scroll and zoom in. And so they're looking for strange things. And
Right.
they've found airplanes that have crashed with Google Earth. It's all over TikTok. I mean, whether you TikTok or not, there's a
Really?
yep. You can go on there, and these people go something strange. The TikTok voice, the lady.
Right.
Something strange that we found on TikTok. Here's where it was, and then it zooms in and goes to it, and it'll show you whatever it is, like maybe a body laying there in the middle of the desert. You know,
Really?
I saw it. Yeah,
That is so odd.
airplanes
man.
in the ocean. That are you
They
can
got to be
see.
all over, Antarctica.
But what about So that's a culture. Maybe we can ask them.
Right. Could you? What are they called? They're called.
Google Earth.
Google Earth. Google Earthers. Can you look that up,
Yeah.
Jackson? I just have to ask. Like, who has the time to do that?
I don't know. I mean, I would understand that it could be interesting.
Oh,
I mean,
definitely.
But how often do you find anything? It has to be a rare thing that you find it.
Well, he put down Google Earth. He didn't put down.
Google Earthers. So it's
Google
people who
Earthers.
study Google Earth. Like that's their hobby or passion. Or he gave me the thumbs up. He might get sidetracked again though.
I know. He does that.
He's awesome. We love sidetrack.
Man, he's a blessing, that's for sure.
Yeah, man. Good dude. Good attitude. Let's see. Are you finding like Google Earth culture, maybe? I don't know what they're called. It's
Right.
because on TikTok,
I was just wondering
It's
if there was
constant.
that they had a website, like a
God, that would be great. And then you could
Google Earthers website.
we could look on TikTok,
Right.
And just go-
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Google Earth, strange findings or whatever, and then it might give us the name of whatever that hobby's called, like
right.
geocaching,
Right.
which makes no sense.
Anyway, we're getting way off track. I'm doing my ADD thing. Sorry, you can cut all that out. So, what do you feel like the Chinese are going to do to us? I mean, do you think they're going to retaliate? They said they're going to.
Yeah, that's what they're saying, and I don't know, man.
They pulled the first punch,
Yeah,
and they're mad because we just slapped them and told them to stop.
yeah. We're like, okay, well, we'll take this thing.
Yeah.
Who cares?
They're mad. They're real mad.
They're mad.
They're so mad because we fucked them. We
Exactly.
the baboons. Oh, we baboons.
Exactly.
I mean, good God.
I
Admit.
think how much talk has there been with China consistently? It's been consistent for years of we're gonna.
Right, and then Trump came in, settled the whole thing down,
He did, yeah. He
and then we get Biden there, and everything goes to hell.
yeah.
And that's just really the truth. If you don't like that, I don't really care. But it's just the truth. It's like,
Right.
and if Trump settled it down for some reason, he settled down the thing. He even went over there and visited, didn't he?
Yeah.
Or no, was that North Korea?
That was North Korea.
Okay, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know.
Okay, but
We can say that though.
yeah, I know he's had things settled in the Middle East, and then all of a sudden, as soon as Biden gets in office, it just all goes to shit again.
Right.
And I'm not, I'm not here to get political. I'm just
Right.
saying that, we need a new leader. We need a new leader.
Man, this has been a wild ride politically.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have to go that far, but
Why don't we
It's
get just
been
a
a-
normal,
it's been
good
wild.
candidate in there that doesn't cause so much drama?
We've had like, I don't know. I mean, you can go all the way back to Barack and kind of move forward, and it's been a strange bunch of. I'm not down on any of them. They all
It's
have
just been a
good
strange
points.
thing.
It's just been a strange political thing for a long time now for me.
It has, and it's like, I just don't really. I ain't really thought anything was worth going and voting for in the last freaking, honestly, 20 or 12 years.
Yeah.
10 or 12 years. It's like, but I mean, I'm not saying that I'm, if there's our president, it's our president, and we have to
Yeah,
respect that.
absolutely. Yeah.
Doesn't matter if we picked him or not.
Yep.
And that's the problem in this country. Not many people have that freaking attitude.
They don't have that attitude,
No.
and you know,
This is the guy we're stuck with for 4 years for sure.
yeah,
If you don't want him back in office in 4 years, go out and vote. Get him out of there.
Yeah.
And stop complaining. Stop bitching. Stop bothering the guy while he's doing his job.
yeah,
Even Biden, look, man, there is some good points about the man. I'm sure or he wouldn't be in office.
Right.
He can't be all bad.
right.
He's not trying to destroy the country.
No.
He just wanted to be president before he died. You can't blame the guy.
No,
It's just like
I don't want to be president. I'm a colonel.
you know what? This last subject I want to talk to you about. Well, it's not the last, but it's pretty close. Is the Chat GPT.
Okay.
How do you feel this is going to change the music business and the songwriting?
Here you go. And because we both lived through the era of from analog to digital, from tape to computer.
Right,
we
right,
we,
right.
we
We've seen the
adapted,
technology,
adjusted it.
yeah.
Yeah, and we're like, okay, well, we got to do that now. This is another, like, everybody in their bedroom has a computer and does music and
Right.
grabs MIDI and moves it around, and then they're a musician now.
Right.
Because that is a form of musicianry now. It's an instrument.
Right.
This is, and I'm going to say this because I'm in Nashville right now. Nashville Science, when they started going, okay, this tuning is appealing to people, this tuning, this tempo, the science of recording, which you and I studied all that.
145
Yeah.
wins most of the time.
Yep. And so all of that technology, this is just another branch of it. So these kids, and I say kids, people that are in their 30s are kids sometimes, but the people that are learning music, people that sit in their bedroom and do the Google Earth thing like we're talking about, they also can write songs like this,
Right.
put in their information and get what they want, even if they don't know how to create it. They can get the chord structure, the whatever, because the moods
Right.
that you want to set. It'll tell you what progressions are for that mood.
So you think that Chat GPT is just another tool for us to use?
I think that, I'm not saying I like it or condone it, but I think it'd be an interesting concept. I use Master Writer.
Yeah, I do too. I
Okay.
do too.
So I like going in there, like if I got a subject or whatever, and then I'll anonym and synonym, them.
Right.
But then I'll put in a phrase and see what it comes up with.
Master Writer is a great program, and Rob uses that a lot. Rob Thomas,
Yeah.
I know he used a lot of that.
One of my favorite singers, you know that.
Yeah, I mean, one of my favorite people.
Yeah.
But he used that. Kind of made that app, I think, pretty famous.
Yeah.
Master Writer. If you guys get a chance to use that, but there was something else I wanted to ask you. I'm not trying to cut it short, but here's a couple of course I'm going to ask you some gear questions.
Oh man, yeah.
What was a game changer, freaking piece of gear that changed you as a producer? I mean, what's the game changer? What did you get that you went, this changes the whole
The
thing?
whole thing. That's great. That's a great question. Let me think about that because I don't want to say the wrong thing. Well, I can say one of them was the Avid Pro Tools Carbon.
Really?
Yeah, I love this.
Does it
piece of gear.
sound that much better?
So the pre's on it are really good.
Mm-hmm.
Really flat. Like it's genuinely flat in a good way. It's not harsh. It's just flat and
Right.
nice. But I love the fact that it uses DSP, so you can save all your power
Right.
and run the DSP. So, okay, let's say we're done. We got the song done, and you go, hey, man, I really want to put a harmony on this thing. I'm
Right.
like, crap, okay, whatever, jeez. And you got all the plugins up still, you're bogging everything down, whatever, because you're
Right.
mixing.
Right.
But then you just hit record on a track that you make, and it turns everything off that isn't DSP for that track, so you won't get any delay at all.
No latency at all.
No latency. So one button, record, which you're going to push anyway, and all of a sudden your master bus goes, bloop, it's blue, bypassed.
Right.
Whatever's not a DSP program or app or plugin.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So constantly, I go to other studios to work, and I forget how much I use that.
Right.
Huge game changer to me. So I miss it when I don't have it.
Is there any compressor that you think changed the game for you?
Oh gosh, a lot of different pre's and compressors, and
Right.
probably the first mic pre I got really changed my game. As personally, it didn't change the whole world, and it was a Demeter.
Demeter, really?
It,
How interesting.
it's very bakey. Now that I'm older, I mean this was years
Right.
ago,
Right.
but I still got it. Same one.
No kidding.
1986 Demeter. I got it in like 91 or 2, but
Wow, that's awesome.
yeah.
And well, I wanted to tell you something. Man, I have to confess something, okay?
Oh boy. Here we go.
Okay. You know what is a game changer for me in the past year?
Mm.
The speakers that you bought me.
Oh yeah.
And those are somewhat some Adams. What's his name?
Adams.
What's it?
Are they 7AX or is that what they are? Yeah.
Those things I went. What happened was my brilliant second engineer Jackson
Yeah.
sidetrack.
Mm-hmm.
He put 2 amp fuses in my freaking my NS10s
Okay.
and blew the tweeter. And I'm
Okay.
like, okay, I'm sorry, I just ain't gonna pay $250 for a tweeter right now.
Yeah.
We switched to those, and I haven't switched back. I haven't got the tweeter.
Really?
replaced. Yeah,
Well, that's awesome,
I
man.
got new woofers, and I use Sonar Works, but Sonar Works, I guess,
I use that too. Yeah.
Sonar Works as that particular plug-in was the game changer of my lifetime. I think that particular plug-in
Yeah.
changed my entire fucking life.
Yeah.
I got to spend more time with my girl.
Mhm.
I got to spend more time with my kids. I got to freaking go home earlier. I got to actually not have a nervous breakdown
Yeah.
every record because you didn't know what you were really hearing.
You weren't fighting the room the whole time.
Before Sonar Works, reference 4, I was basically fighting a grizzly bear in the dark, blindfolded.
Was this bear on cocaine?
Yes, that bear was definitely on cocaine.
Okay.
And
I can't wait to see that anyway.
no, I think that I'm going to be in a movie called Bigfoot Gets Drunk.
Okay.
We're doing a podcast on the movie tomorrow.
Nice.
With James Stokes, the guy who plays Friday the 13th. The Jason Voorhees in Friday the 13th. He's bringing this man. So I'm gonna be asking him questions. You know how
Sweet.
Jason never freaking answer. He never talks or whatever. Just have him over there, and all of a sudden, me and him start grappling and stuff.
Oh my gosh. That's
we gotta
awesome.
do that.
Heck
That
yeah.
shit is funny.
That is awesome.
But but no. Malcolm wrestles Jason.
I can see that. That would be awesome, though.
We're gonna get one plastic machete so he can sign it.
And now you just, and we can't talk about much of this, but your Bigfoot idea that you're gonna do.
Yeah.
That and Jason's there.
I know. Maybe have
when you're
him,
filming it
maybe
randomly.
Maybe him be one of like his hype man or something. Yeah, yeah. Look at him, Jason. Yeah. Or just sit there like this and do like this the whole time.
You could title it "Jason Speaks." Jason finally speaks. That'd be great.
Oh jeez.
That's cool though, man. That the Jason guy. I like it.
Man, thank you for coming on the
Oh,
podcast.
always, dude. It's always fun.
We're gonna go see the Lowdown Drifters.
Yep.
And is there any more tour dates with Save and Abel? And what are we expecting out the new record? I mean, when is it coming out and all that stuff?
What I know about is the single is going to come out in March.
Okay.
I have to go in the studio this week and track 3 basses that I just haven't yet. The scratches are there, and then that's pretty much it. Like they're pretty much everything's
The record's
done. Whole
done.
record. Yeah.
You've been working on this thing for a year, hadn't you?
Yeah. Yeah. Along with working and touring and doing all that too,
Right.
and writing the songs because we wrote probably 80 songs, like started, you know what I mean? You get the idea, you concept and do stuff, and then you trim them down or you put 2 together or whatever you wind up doing.
Right.
We wrote nonstop.
Well,
and mainly Jason and Jared, but I got to assist some on that.
Okay, well, we talk about Jason being a flat earther, but man, when it comes to songwriting, that some bitch
He's
is
good.
bad
He's
ass.
amazing.
He's an amazing songwriter. He really is. I'm so impressed with that guy.
What's trippy, and I've told Jason this too. We talked about how he became a musician, whatever. You know, like me, I mimicked everybody.
Right.
So I was learning Cinderella and Poison and Led Zeppelin and, you know, dabbling. But I wanted every nuance that player had when I was playing guitar. Like, I want exactly like that.
Right.
He said he never did that.
No?
He just played. He said, I just played and was me and whatever, and then started a band, and we'd have this sound, and I'm me. And his quirkiness, because, like, musically, and I've told him this, I said, your quirkiness is what makes you amazing.
Right.
The riffs he writes, everything's just strange enough that it's a different thing. It's really cool.
Yeah, he's a very unique guy too. I mean,
yeah.
But so the single comes out in March,
and it's "Baptize Me" is the name of the song.
Really?
Yeah,
Very
it's
cool.
not about that really, but
it's about the other baptism.
I can't talk about it.
Anyway,
no. it's a really good song, man. I'm excited about the record. People are gonna dig it.
All right, well, Scott Wilson, thank you, man, and I appreciate you. And we could sit here all night long,
dude,
literally.
We would.
And
we'd need more water.
Thank you for coming back. Thank you for coming back on the podcast. And my girls out there, we're fixing to go see the Lowdown Drifters and maybe play a couple songs before we go.
Sounds great.
All right, brother. Thank you so much, man.
Right on, bro.